Cd29 Life Coaching with Mirror. The Sacred Council, 29 out of 32. The guiding force of mirror. Mirror. The guiding force of reflections. All you see are reflections of yourself. I am mirror, one of the 17 balancing forces of universe and nature, representing the force of reflections, reminding you that the external world is a reflection and projection of the internal world within your mind. You would not be able to recognize or experience anything when you would not have the thought, picture, feeling, smell, and taste already within you. I am present in your life as a mirror, and hopefully you understand that the only one you can meet is yourself in everybody and everything, the one you like or not, accept or not, and respect or not. They are endless characters within you, representing all the masks of a Mardi Gras celebration, and all of them are reflecting themselves in the outside world in which you get confronted with them. All you see and experience are the masks and characteristics within yourself. Quote, "We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are." Talmud, end of quote. It is about accepting all these characters, so none of them start running your life. When you fear, fear appears on the outside. When it is destruction within yourself, in one or another area, it is destruction that will show up as a mirror in your life. When it is sadness you play with, sadness will project itself on the outside. So always realize that what you experience on the outside is a reflection from within yourself. The greatness you see in others, the ugliness, the beauty, happiness, and the pain, it is all in you. This is the same when you, as an example, do not like someone who is always late. Look deep inside of yourself and you will find in one or more areas that you are too late too. Maybe you are being too late to take care of your health. Or maybe you're always too late for your morning prayers. So, the things you experience externally do not have to be exactly identical to what you're doing to yourself, but when you look good, you will find the reflection. Quote, "Behavior is a mirror in which everyone displays his own image." Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, end of quote. To add onto all the faces and characteristics you meet on the outside, you can also meet them in things, places, and situations. Sadness you do not need to see in some other person's face, but it can also project itself in getting involved in a sad situation. You can hear sad music or you see something that makes you sad on the TV. You keep on experiencing life from an external point of view in which you point out and explain everything through external happenings, most likely making yourself into a victim of circumstances, or you seek to understand that everything is already inside your mind and that everything you see and experience is a reflection of yourself and your mind. Quote, "Are you happy with the world when you look in the mirror and see the world within yourself?" Peter Amato, end of quote. I show you constantly what is going on within yourself, to the extent reminding you that what you do to the planet and the wars you fight, that they are a reflection of yourself. Let's talk for a minute about the external wars taking place on your planet. Do you look at all the wars and battles on the outside as a reflection of yourself? Think about how the big leaders fight with each other using words, threatening each other. You are at war with yourself, in your mind, with certain parts of your body, with certain characteristics of yourself. Basically, you are at war. You hear about the people hiding mines to keep the enemies away, and at the same time shooting off missiles and dropping bombs. This phenomena reflects the bombs of negative thinking towards yourself and the consuming of unhealthy foods, which are like bombs and minefields which can explode now or in the future. These explosions come in the way of sickness, illness, disease, or fights within yourself and others. You do a lot of harm to yourself and at the same time harm others through your thoughts and even in your dreams. Much is written in the newspaper about the chemical warfare. But look, how many chemicals are you putting in your body? Breathing, drinking, and eating. Do you read the ingredient labels of items before you purchase or consume them? You may have little influence avoiding the bigger wars, but you can at least stop the war within yourself, with others around you, and with your body. Quote, I have always thought the actions of man the best interpreters of their thoughts. John Locke. End of quote. I am one of the most difficult forces to accept, for when you understand and accept this, all points to you, and there is nothing to complain about anymore. It all boils down to working on yourself. And then there is the real you, a crystal child of light, a soul, which you see seldom in the mirror, because you keep only the company of the mind, scattering you as pieces of a broken mirror. The real search of life, the quest is to find that within yourself, and when you then look into the world it will change completely. But for that you have to go beyond the realm of mind and matter, and keeping the company of those special souls who have done this. Quote, the company we keep has a great effect and influence upon us. Hazur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji. End of quote. Mirror. Knowing me and knowing what to do with me. Let's see how you unnecessarily struggle with my force in various aspects of your life. How you could change your perspective and even make some practical changes. There are endless words that can be connected to any subject, and each subject can have many books, because each subject can be approached from various perspectives or angles. Most important is not to forget that all that what is said or written is merely an opinion, a truth, and not the truth, because the spoken and written word is part of the creative world, created in opposites, constantly changing and bound to time, and there is always more that can be said or written about any subject. Regarding me and the Sacred Council members, talking about any subject, know that this understanding applies to that information as well. The information is from our point of view and brought to you through the world of visionary and mystical fiction. But hopefully, it contributes to your life and assists you to experience life in a more conscious, mystical, and magical way. By hearing or reading this information, you will come to the conclusion that you know this already, and you do, because this is part of your universal and spiritual inheritance. And often, we just need one word or sentence that inspires and motivates us to do things differently, or to think about a certain subject from a different perspective. Dealing with your real self, the soul. In regards to spiritual living, know that everything you experience external is a reflection from within yourself. All is within you, and even every character on the outside must be a reflection from within you, otherwise you could not recognize them. It is looking into a mirror and making peace with everything and everybody as being you, and accepting this and making peace. Try to experience you as something else, and not you as someone else. This is mirrored living. Quote, we don't see things as they are. we see them as we are. Talmud. End of quote. Go one step further and find that pure soul and God within you, for it is in you and everybody. When you have reunited, you will look differently in the mirror of life, for you will recognize that soul and the Creator in everything and everybody. When you would look at everything in the world from this point of view, your entire adventure will change instantly, because you look out from the window of your soul. Quote, most people are mirrors, reflecting the moods and emotions of the times. Few are windows, bringing light to bear on the dark corners where trouble festers. The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Sidney J. Harris. End of quote. Dealing with your mind. In regards to managing and dealing with the mind, know that everything you experience is a reflection from within your mind. You would not be able to recognize or experience anything when you would not have that thought, picture, feeling, smell and taste already within you. The greatness you see in others, the ugliness, the beauty, happiness and the pain, it is all within you. You keep on experiencing life from an external point of view in which you point out and explain everything through external happenings. By doing so, most likely making yourself into a victim of circumstances. Or you seek to understand that everything is already inside your mind and that everything you see and experience is a reflection from within you and your mind. Quote, better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world. George Bernard Shaw. When the mind is clean with the jewel of spiritual wisdom, it does not become dirty again. Sri Guru Granth Sahib. End of quote. Dealing with your body. In regards to dealing with your physical body, know that you inherited a certain body or type of body and be content with that. Otherwise, you look for the rest of your life in the mirror and face an enemy. Through the course of life, your body forms itself further by what you think, eat, and the physical work that you do. Here you have a chance to stay in charge. Take care of yourself, preventative, and do not let your body run down, because it is much harder to get it back in shape than to keep it in shape. Remember, however, that the shape and condition of your body reflects what you think, eat, and do in all aspects of your life. So it is not just about trying to shape your body through physical fitness and sport activities, although they may help a lot when you do the other things. Your modern world has very few examples walking around that shine and reflect inner radiance, peace, health and contentment, and it is in need of some more of them. Maybe you would like to be one of them, but do not confuse it with the artificial modern world producing beauty, fitness and sports models. Quote, when the act of reflection takes place in the mind, when we look at ourselves in the light of thought, we discover that our life is embosomed in beauty. Ralph Waldo Emerson. End of quote. Dealing with communication. In regards to communication, know that all you hear are reflections within yourself, otherwise you could not understand them. Be aware to mirror and reflect when somebody is approaching you in a negative way. Let them see what they are doing without going in defense or attack. The words you speak are an outside mirror of what is going on inside of you. Quote, walking your talk is a great way to motivate yourself. No one likes to live a lie. Be honest with yourself, and you will find the motivation to do what you advise others to do. Vince Poscente. End of quote. Dealing with food. In regards to dealing with nutrition, do you realize that what you eat reflects on and in your body and the state of your mind? Look possibly at yourself and your fellow inhabitants of the planet. Do most of them look healthy and vibrate zest and vitality? Look at all the body postures, the skin texture, and the body shapes. Hospitals are packed, and most of you have a medicine cabinet, and more people get confronted with sickness. There are many factors contributing to this phenomena, but the intake of poor quality food is one of the major contributors, which is part of your lifestyle, and that is what you reflect in the mirror of your life. You are so addicted to certain tastes, stuck in rituals and cultural food habits. Almost everybody is dependent on others and factories delivering you food. Have you asked yourself if they have your health in mind? You are very critical at the politicians making their decisions, which is a reflection of your poor decisions you make in the choices of your food. You are against heavy pollution and chemical warfare, but are you reading the labels regarding the chemicals you put into your own body? You are possibly not fond of wars, but you are at war with your body and destroying it. And when the mines you have placed are not exploding right now, they will at one point in time. What do you think sickness, signs, symptoms, and disease is? You talk about freedom and free will, but you do not even have the courage to change your way of eating because it is easier to stay in the norm and slave of unhealthy foods. Start reflecting health and energy by consuming healthy and energy-rich foods. Quote, courage is the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees the others. Aristotle. End of quote. Dealing with staying fit. In regards to fitness, accept what you see in the mirror and how others look. Sometimes, even without realizing, you look at others and have already a judgment. He or she is ugly or fat. On the other hand, you look at the model bodies of fashion models or trained athletes and state that they are great bodies. Both images are inside of you, but they are both based on your conditioned judgment. Why not connect with an image everybody can have and which is also within you, an image that vibrates health and vitality, an energy that comes from the level of your soul. Quote, self-revelation is a cruel process. The real picture, the real you never emerges. Looking for it is as bewildering as trying to know how you really look. 10 different mirrors show you 10 different faces. Dashi Deshpande. End of quote. Dealing with your life partner. In regards to your relationship, know that all you see, like or not, in your partner are reflections from within you. How could you recognize them when they are not already inside of yourself? Your partner is a mirror in which you discover more and more about yourself and an opportunity to grow through. When you, however, just keep pointing out to your partner, you are disempowering yourself and you will stay in a fight that will never end. So discover the things in yourself which you have a hard time dealing with and accept that first, and then see if you need to put some effort in by changing you. Quote, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Carl Gustav Jung. End of quote. Dealing with your children. In regards to parenting, realize that children will become like you because they look at their examples. Quote, children have never been any good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. James Baldwin. End of quote. When you look at your children, what is it what you see? Do you see your children that are young, who show you zest, have health, fun, and even have saint-like qualities? This is what attracts you as adults toward children. It is something you lost somewhere on the way. That zest and saint-like qualities are still within you, otherwise you could not recognize them in your child. Instead of searching for those qualities within yourself, you have the tendency to push your children away from those qualities and pulling them too soon into the adult world. You need to go to their level. For who wants to be at your level? Do you have as much fun as your child or children? Do not get caught in that everything your child does needs to make sense to you. Children play, but for adults everything needs to have a reason, and something needs to have a reward connected. The reward for the child in regards to playing is playing. Quote, modern man likes to pretend that his thinking is wide awake, but this wide awake thinking has led us into the maze of a nightmare in which the torture chamber are endlessly repeated in the mirrors of reason. Octavio Paz. End of quote. Dealing with preserving the planet. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, realize that the pollution on the planet is the pollution of your own mind, caused by your own thinking or by reading, hearing, and seeing things that are not right. The destruction you see on the planet, what people do to each other and the planet, is the destruction you cause to yourself, possibly by not taking care of yourself. Just look at the news and realize that all the confusion and wars are also confusions and war within yourself. See how you can help the outside world. Maybe you can help instantly, but not forget first to help yourself from the inside out. You are the world and your body is the planet. So do the best things possible in order to keep you and your body in good health. Quote, a healthy social life is found only when in the mirror of each soul the whole community finds its reflection, and when in the whole community the virtue of each one is living. Rudolf Steiner. End of quote. Dealing with the teenage years. In regards to the teenage years, realize that various behaviors of the teenager are still within you as parents, and realize that teenagers have a hard time with what they see in the mirror. They look as if everything is against them, and either parents or the teenager need to lay the weapons down. One will have to do it. One day they will understand that the reflections of both parents will always be a reflection within them. They will or not accept this fact, but that is not up to you as parents. One day you as parents accept that what you see in your children is also within you, and you need to make peace with that. Dealing with getting older. In regards to dealing with getting older, do realize that the image of getting older with all its negative effects is just a distorted picture within your own mind. Few of you are really taking care of yourself in regards to health and vitality, and for that reason most of you are getting older, stiffer and sicker. The world is in need of different role models, and it is never too late to do something, so you can be an example of health, flexibility and vitality. Quote, do the right thing. It will gratify some people and astonish the rest. Mark Twain. End of quote. Dealing with stress. In regards to dealing with stress, do you realize that the negative stress you experience is a reflection from within yourself? Your body is stressed out by consuming so many foods that do not belong in your body. You do not sleep enough. and you're always racing outside and inside your mind. Is it strange that all you see and experience in your life is about stress? You can only change the picture from the inside out by reducing all these stresses. You may say, what about the stress in the world? Do something first where you have direct influence on. Quote, but he who is truly in the right state is so in all circumstances and among all persons. He who is not in a good state is not right with him in all places and among all persons. Meister Eckhart. End of quote. Dealing with weight. In regards to dealing with weight, do you realize that there are more images of yourself within you? The problem is not only that you identify with the body, mind, and the world, and not seeing yourself as an eternal crystal child of light, a soul, but you identify with an unhealthy, out-of-shape body. You try to lose weight by imaging another, most likely another earthly body connected to the body of a beauty model or athlete. Realize that when you would be able to achieve this new image, that you have another enemy by trying to keep up that image. Just try to be as healthy and vital as you can, and reconnect with your real self, the real you that has no name or shape. By being overweight, you attract others with the same dilemma. When you have the model body, you will see more of those bodies around you, but when you get closer to the real you, you will meet others who are on the same path. Quote, if your own soul becomes as brilliant and strong magnet, it will help and draw others. Maharaj Sawan Singh. End of quote. Dealing with disease. In regards to dealing with disease, do you realize that any disease is also a reflection of your mind? Disease is a reflection of what you think, eat and do. It is not just about a treatment, a change of food and doing some exercises. When you really want to get out of the realm of disease, and when you want to reflect health and vitality, it requires a complete approach in all aspects of your life, a lifestyle transformation. Why do you want to return to your old lifestyle which contributed to your disease? An old reflection and an old mirror. How long and how intense do you want that disease keeps knocking at your door? Are you still looking for the easy way out and hoping that you get the fortune of great health? Do not give your power away to others taking care of you. Quote, a problem cannot be solved with the same consciousness that created it. Albert Einstein. End of quote. Dealing with emotions. In regards to dealing with emotions, know that everything you think of, hear, see, touch, smell, and taste are connected to emotions. They are like pictures you have framed and have become a reality, and the money-making industry makes use of this to promise you happiness and other feelings by you having to buy and having to have. This is like looking into a mirror of deep inner unhappiness, which is the separation between your real self, the soul, and the creator. And to compensate, you seek emotional satisfaction in the world, but which are binding you even more. Plus, these experiences are not lasting and satisfying. Real happiness, joy, and most other feelings and emotions can only be found beyond the realm of mind and matter. Dealing with business. In regards to dealing with your professional life, do you realize that the way you do business is a reflection how you do business with most other aspects in your life, including your body, mind, and spirit? Is your business about serving others with quality products? When this is not the case, look within yourself and see that you are having a low quality life and debatable health. The way you treat your coworkers and the way you work with the characters within yourself, and when your life is all about stress, competition, and misusing power, look deep inside of the poor business on how you manage your own body, mind, and soul. Quote, to succeed in chaining the multitude, you must seem to wear the same feathers. Voltaire. End of quote. Dealing with destructive habits. In regards to dealing with destructive habits and addictions, know that any of your destructive habits and addictions is a reflection of your entire life and being. When a destructive habit takes over your life, know that your entire life is under the influence of that habit. The destructive habits you have in your life is like an illness which you can treat just regarding an illness, but no, it is an expression of your entire body that is sick. But it only shows on your weakest areas to get your attention. In order to get out of any destructive habit, it is to approach your entire body and life in all its aspects. So the cure is not just hoping that one promised remedy will do the job, but your remedy is with everything you think, eat, and do. In your modern world, the dark side of yourself has taken over. Look at your entire world. You talk about destructive habits and do not see that you are addicted to work and power, possessions, and addicted in destroying your world. Almost nobody is willing to give the destruction within themselves up, and so the outside mirror remains destruction. Quote, knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of other people. Carl Gustav Jung. End of quote. Dealing with studying. In regards to studying, know that all your study is a reflection from within your own mind. It is already inside the universal mind, for how could you recognize a banana when it would not already be within your own mind? The external world and all you learn or know about is a reflection or mirror from the inside of your own mind. Also understand that what you want to achieve on the outside, you must also achieve on the inside, otherwise you are just building castles in mid-air. The musician, study the music in everything and everyone, and find out about the eternal sound. The artist, become an artist in all aspects of life. A healthcare practitioner, learn to take first care of your own health and well-being. The photographer, learn to see the beauty inside yourself and in everybody. The banker, make sure to invest in healthy cells. And realize that there is always more you don't know yet. Quote, the more I read, the more I meditate, and the more I acquire, the more I am able to affirm that I know nothing. Voltaire. End of quote. Dealing with friendships. In regards to friendships, know that all you see in your friends is a reflection of the friendship within yourself. With yourself. You all look for good friends in your life, but there is always something not completely right in the other. Realize as long as you are not a good friend to yourself, it will mirror on the outside. When you become that friend and accept all your shortcomings within yourself, you will also accept them as well in your friends. Quote, the only way to have a friend is to be one. Ralph Waldo Emerson. End of quote. Summary mirror. Mirror, the guiding force of reflections. You complain about almost anything that happens to you, others and the world, but you forget that all is a reflection from within yourself. I am mirror, representing the force of reflections, reminding you that the external world is a reflection and projection of the internal world within your own self and mind. You would not be able to recognize or experience anything when you would not have the thought, the picture, the feeling, the smell and taste already within you. I represent one of the most difficult forces to accept, but when you understand and accept this, all things point to yourself, and then there is nothing to complain about anymore. From that moment on, you claim the power that enables you to experience life differently. Summary: everything in creation and all you're experiencing external must be a reflection of your mind, otherwise it could not exist. You are the director and actor in this theater, and the only one disguised behind many faces, places and events. It is only yourself. You both accept and learn to deal with the external or stay complaining and fighting within it. You either use everything you experience for the evolution of your being and soul, or you leave them laying unattended, unawakened. Use the mirror with everything that happens in every aspect of life and in every moment of your life. In order to stay aware that everything you experience is a reflection from within yourself, prepare yourself for the day of how you're going to approach life, others and situation. And at the end of the day, write down your changes, how you handled things differently by having been exposed to the information about mirror. Affirmation: whatever I experience in the external world must be a reflection from within, otherwise I would not be able to recognize it. Petrus.